How's it going? So I join you today from this pretty shitty day for a review of this pretty, well, really dirty right now actually, because it was sitting over here and it rained, so it's actually really dirty right now. But this 2007 Kawasaki Ninja 650R. I've had this bike for maybe like 4 or 5 months now. I really like it, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a thorough review of it on my way to work. So it's about a 20-minute drive to work, so that is the review I'm going to give you guys. So first off, I'm about to run out of gas, so we're gonna go do that actually. We gotta go ahead and ride this puppy over to the gas station before we commence with this this review here. So let's go do that, I guess. Alright, maybe this wasn't the best choice, because right when I was around that turn right there, it said 1 bar. And now it says no bars as soon as I made that turn. So maybe this wasn't the best choice. It's okay, don't run out on me, please. Please don't run out on me, I'm begging you. Okay, once we get to the gas station, I'll start going over this. Right now, my only focus is getting to this gas station. Oh. Bumpy. Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. Alright. Shut her down. Okay. Looks like it's getting drier out. I actually kind of like that drizzle though.
5 minutes later.
Ah! Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Yep, it's a rain ride. Son of a bitch. It's okay. I'm a happy man still. No problemo. So, I'm out of work now, and I think I'm gonna scrap the beginning of that recording. I'm gonna chop that up in little bits and pieces, because I feel like I was all over the place. Like, I replayed that recording, and because it was raining out and stuff, it kind of distracted me, and I was like rambling all over the place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this bike up into 4 categories. Number 1 being rideability. Number 2 being price. Number 3, its strong points. And number 4, its weak points. So let's get this baby started up and get on the road, and I'll start explaining a little bit about it. So, as we get on the road, I'm going to go over number 1. It's rideability. So, I touched on it a little bit before, and then obviously, you know, like I said, I got sidetracked. This bike, here, I'm gonna pull this down, you guys probably can't hear me. This bike is super easy to ride. I said before, I came off a 250, and that was even easier to drive. But I'm letting you know now, this is just as easy. Or maybe, I would even say just a tiny bit harder maybe, just because the clutch is different and stuff. You can definitely tell this takes off a lot faster than a 250. If you are coming off a 250, obviously, and you got this bike, you know that. But this takes off a lot faster than a 250. But it's still easier, like, it's still super easy to drive. Very forgiving engine. You know, I don't claim to be the best rider in the world. You could definitely tell I'm not the best rider in the world. I got his round red light. And being so, this is a perfect bike for me because, like I said, it's very forgiving. You know, it's gonna sputter and stuff, but I've never ever stalled this bike. And like I said, coming off a 250, never having even driven anything manual before, getting on this, it just took right off. Never stalled this bike before, ever. Nor did I ever stall my 250, because that's how easy they are to drive. Let me get moving. I hate talking at these stoplights. I feel like it's awkward. I feel like people can hear me. Someone like me getting on this bike and never stalling it after never, ever, not even really being familiar with any kind of power sport or anything. It's definitely goes to show something on how easy this bike is to ride. So I think it's perfect for any beginner that wants to just hop on it and learn. I still think you should go to a 250 before you do this. I still think you should go do that. But you know, say this is the only bike available, you know, 250, can't find it. I think this is the next best option. Or you could even go, they make Ninja 300s and stuff. Even go to that. I don't think hopping on a Ninja 650 is the best thing to do right off the bat. Work your way up slowly like I did. That's the best thing I think I've done, was to work my way up very slowly from bigger engine sizes. Because it sucks to see like someone who's never ridden a bike in their life hop on a 1000 and then they just crash it because, you know, they can't handle the power and stuff. Dude, am I gonna hit every single light? Like, ever? So, rideability, definitely give it a 9 out of 10 just because I think you should go to a 250 before you go to this. And I gotta try to beat this arrow real quick. I definitely think you should go to 250 before you go to this, but if you don't have that option available to you, I think this is a very viable option if you're a beginner. But this is a beginner talking to a beginner on this video. Beginners like you and me, we don't care about that kind of stuff. We just care about, if I hop on this bike, am I going to be able to drive it, or am I wasting, you know, blah, blah, X amount of money. So, drivability 9 out of 10 just because I think you should get a 650 before you get this. But that brings me on to the second point, which I believe I said was oh yeah, price for money or something like that. These bikes are cheap. They're cheap. They're on the cheaper spectrum of bikes, especially this one, because like I said, I only got this bike. Hang on, I gotta adjust this microphone real quick. I only got this bike for around $2,600. So, granted, it has, you know, almost 40,000 miles on it. So you'll probably be able to pick one of these up with low mileage for around like 4,000. But still, bikes like this exist. So, price for money, I think it's pretty good. Here, I'm gonna lane split real quick. Bikes like this, they exist. So that's something to keep in mind. And that truck was just flashing that car out of the way. So yeah, I definitely think it's a very good price for your money. Like I said, it comes with a digital speedometer. You know, stuff that modern bikes have, you'll be able to have on this bike. Jesus Christ. This truck. You'll be able to have on this type of bike. Granted, it doesn't have, you know, like ABS and stuff like that. It's not new enough. That stuff wasn't around on bikes. It might have been, but this bike doesn't have it. I'm not sure if they made an option for this bike to have ABS, but I know this one certainly doesn't have it. This also doesn't have, you know, like fancy stuff like alarm systems and stuff. Also, I'll touch on it later, but with the gears, it doesn't have a digitalized gear selector. But it has all modern bike features, biggest of which being the screen. So yeah, that brings me on to the third point. Some of those bikes, you know, it's strong points. Very easy to ride. That's a huge strong point because, you know, as I said, beginners buy this bike, they want something easy to ride that they know they're not going to fuck up on a crash. And perfect. This is the perfect bike for that. You know, it's digital speedometer right in front of you, digital RPM. That's all useful tools to have. Inexpensive. Like I said, very inexpensive. It's all kind of the stuff that I went over is its big strong points. It's very quick. It's a quick bike. Outrun, you know, it's not going to outrun acceleration-wise, it'll outrun, you know, a car, like a normal car, but, you know, top speed-wise, I'm not too sure. I really don't know how fast this bike goes. I wouldn't even really try to push it up to that speed, just because I'm not comfortable doing those speeds. There's quicker bikes out there, there's always a bigger fish. And, like I said, for reasons that are unknown to me, the 600s and CBRs and 600, what is the other big one? 600, Z, no, not ZX, 600 XR, whatever that bike is. I'll put it up on the screen. They're faster in reasons that are still unknown to me. But, you know, for the most part, it's a very quick bike, and I'm coming off a 250, so obviously I'm going to say that. And people, you know, who never had a bike before, this is going to feel like the fastest thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, it is. It's very quick. Now, to some of the negative points I have on the bike, and there really aren't many. One thing that could be improved upon is this windshield. I think that's a cop right there. This windshield, it directs air, like, when I mean directly into your face, like directly into your face. Like, the windshield is not tall enough to be able to direct. Am I gonna have to run? No. The windshield is not tall enough to, like, direct wind above your head, so it kind of, like, hits me in the chest, like, right around this area, which is kind of annoying because, like I said before, if I even put that part in, because I was all over the place, this strap is kind of, like, hitting into my Adam's apple, and the wind is not helping that either because it's pushing it even further into my Adam's apple. But, you know, it's not a big deal. There's replacement windshields that I'm sure you can get that come up higher, or ones that come up lower. Like, I could get really low right now and get down, but this bike has a very straight up stance, and it's not a very, like, super aggressive stance that you get from, like, hyper bikes and shit, obviously. It's more of a relaxed feel. It feels like more like a cruiser. Like, I could sit straight up like this and be, you know, perfectly comfortable. So, the seat is very comfy on it, too. What else? Oh, yeah. Like I said, when I was talking about it before, I said I would touch on it more. The digital gear selector. I wish it had it. It doesn't, though. Because, you know, I think Kawasaki, when they made this, they aimed it more towards beginners. And it would just be nice if it was there. You know, sometimes you forget what gear you're in. Someone who hasn't been riding very long like me, you know, sometimes I forget what gear I'm in. Am I in third? Am I in second? All that kind of stuff. It would have just been a nice feature to have. It doesn't bother me too much because as you drive this bike, you kind of get a feel for what gear you're in and, you know, how fast you're going for what gear. So it's not a huge feature that I really need. It's just something I would like to have, but it doesn't bother me that much. What else? I don't really know what else. That's pretty much all the negative points I have on this thing. I don't know. It has other useful features, like, it's got hazards and stuff, like, you see I got hazards. It doesn't got a pass button, like, where you flash it. I don't think many bikes have that, but the Triumph that I have at home has that. Triumph 800 Tiger, that has that. That's not a huge feature. I probably wouldn't even use it anyway. I don't want to be a dick when I'm riding this thing. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can really touch on with the negatives. It's really, it's not a very flawed bike. I mean, you know, I'm sure other people, you know, the seasoned veterans that, you know, owned 1 million bikes in their life and, you know, are riding, you know, 1200cc bikes. I'm sure they'll have some stuff to say about the torque ratio and blah, 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 all that crap. But you and me, we don't care about that shit. I don't think anyone really cares about that shit. They just say that shit to seem smart. So, you know, they just try to stretch the video over 10 minutes talking about torque ratios and chain depth or whatever. I don't even fucking know. Output CC and input CC. We don't care about that. We care about the facts and layman's terms. Got a nice red screen. That's another thing. Glows red at night. Gives it kind of a cool look. Another thing with the headlight, it's one of those bikes, and I know it's pretty common. I know it's pretty common with like sports bikes and stuff, but you know, people who've never ridden a bike or know about bikes, they get it confused. The headlight only comes out of one side, so one side of the headlight is just your regular headlight, and the other side is your high beam. So people, you know, just to keep in mind, you might get pulled over if you get like an idiot cop one day that doesn't know. Be like, oh, your headlight's out. No, it's not, sir. It only comes out of one side, as it can serve electricity, because putting two bulbs in there would not be very, I don't know, environment friendly. Who knows? It's not bad. It's not a bad design. I mean, it's just as bright. Or maybe not. It's bright enough. I say that as I literally can't even see a difference with the headlight. It's actually pretty light out. My visor is making it seem way more dark out than it actually is, but it's pretty light out right now. I just had my visor down because there's a lot of bugs out. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. I'm not gonna end it just yet. I'll end it when I get home. Do some stupid shit right now. I could like weave like this if you guys want. I care about that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting a little bit more moto vlogs on this channel. I've been wanting to do it for a while, like moto vlogs and stuff. But I don't know, I'm lazy. I've recorded so many vlogs in the past. I just don't edit them, and then they end up sitting on my GoPro forever. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll plug it into the computer one day, edit them up, and then post it. And then they end up sitting on my GoPro for so long, and then when they sit on my GoPro, I'll be wanting to take a ride or some shit, and I'm out of storage on my GoPro, so I'll just end up deleting it. That's usually what happens. But this one, I'm doing it. I'm posting this one. You guys are gonna see this video. And I've said it in my other videos before. I'm always like in my other videos, I'm always like, I don't even know if you guys will see this. That's what I usually say in the other videos. It's like, hopefully you guys see this. And you guys just never end up doing it. There's been so many times where like I've tried to talk to the people watching out there, and no one's ever seen it. It's just footage that I've only seen. Because I just get lazy and I don't feel like taking the GoPro off, and then I go to like my house in Middletown, forget about it, and then I want to go take my bike out. No storage, so I delete it. That's usually what happens. I've recorded this ninja review like I think 4 times already and just never did anything about it, but I'm determined. You guys will see this video. You will. And if you don't, you won't even know about it. Nor will anyone even know about it, because I haven't posted on my YouTube channel in 5 months. So my analytics are probably cruised. Hey.